on YouTube, I think. Be sure. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope we are live. Okay, hi YouTube. Well, whenever you're ready, just please feel free to share your screen as promised by the title that you can see below here. Hey, Tamara. We are going to figure out today, how do you know that a client is going to be a good client? Like, how can you know that a client is going to be spendy and that they're worth your connects? It's a very good question. And I think I have the answer. I mean, I think the squad has the answer, not me. So as soon as Mpo signs in and shares her screen, we are good to go. So Mpo, in the meantime, what are the questions that you guys are actually looking forward to answering this evening? Do you have any like major questions in your mind about, this is actually what I want to know? Okay, I'm checking our YouTube chat. Nothing there. Okay. I was sharing the screen
What
now.
are we looking at?
We are looking at another project. So quickly, before we move on to another project, could you show us your previous proposal that you just sent just now? Yeah, if you go down here to the proposals tab, it's right there. All right. I just want to take a look. I love it. Really did it 26 minutes ago. Excellent. Yep, Tamara,
It's
please
very
feel free
competitive.
to type your questions in, or you can raise your hand and unmute your mic, and then we'll go into the explanation of why it is that Mpo applied to this proposal, and then we'll go into the proposal she sent. Good stuff. So Tamara, take it away, and then Mpo will start to take a look at this project and then proposals. Tamara, please ask your question on pricing.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. Good evening. Hello.
So, I've realized that there are some posts that are fixed, that the client already says I'm willing to spend this amount. And then there are others where that they do give you a price range of what they are willing to spend. And then there are others where they have listed any
Yeah.
pricing. So I'm not really sure how to go about that. Because like when I want to send a proposal, that's like also one of the points that does stop me, because I don't know that if on my profile I should say maybe $20, but then what do I tell the client on when they have like already a fixed price? Do I just agree to the fixed price? Or if they give a range, do I pick the highest range? Or if there is no pricing that they have given, do I just give the same price on my profile, or do I take it a little bit higher?
It's a good question. So here's how it works when it comes to Upwork. To really do well, you got to know your numbers. We call it our Upwork math, and we have an automated calculator for that. I do have a video where I demonstrate how you can do it for yourself if you want to. So let me see if I can find the video and link it in the chat, because why not? But basically, you're going to save your searches and filter. You have to know what your hourly rate is and how much you want to make fixed rate. If, for instance, there's 2 milestones, you want to make sure that even after paying 10% on each milestone, you're still taking away what it is that you wanted to make fixed. Does that make sense? So whenever you see projects on your feed and you know that your hourly rate is like $50 an hour, and you have set a minimum of like $1,000 an hour, what you can do to make sure that you are getting that amount is save that search for whatever job it is that it is you filtered for. Save that search, and then it's going to show up on your feed. Now, always go with save searches feed, and then tell the algorithm either a thumbs up or submit the proposal. You don't have to hard it. You don't have to save the search even again because you have your saved searches. Just
Okay.
leave it the way that it is, submit the proposal, or give it a thumbs down so that the algorithm can understand, the Upwork algorithm can understand what is your ideal project, who you serve, what do you do, and how you solve their problem or how you're able to solve their symptoms, basically. So that is the first thing that I would recommend to you is like filter, filter, filter. And then for the projects that show up on your feed where there's no price, as in there's no hourly rate, there's no fixed rate, there's just, or it just says hourly, or it says fixed. What you want to do is make sure, double check the feed it shows up on. If it's on your $50 an hour, $1,000 fixed feed, they've got the budget. And then you're going to do something that is what we're going to talk about in this session, which is being able to sort for high paying clients. You're going to be able to see as you submit your proposal based on, we call it the magic owl inside the squad and here on YouTube. Then look at the magic owl and then quickly dart to the side and just check a few metrics, and that'll help you decide if it's worth risking it by sending a proposal to that specific project. So we'll definitely help you figure out how to identify the high paying clients on Upwork that way. And then as for your automated Upwork map, I do have a video tutorial where I explain to you how to do that. So I'm going to pop the link in the chat. But please take it away. Can you show us the project title and then take us through what's going on the side and what it is that made you feel like, okay, I can submit a proposal to this.
Okay. So after doing the Magic L, I noticed that, okay, first of all, what caught my attention was that this is something I can do, go high level expert on ongoing support, optimization, and consultation. And I did the Magic L and everything checked out. I was a bit concerned about the average rate that this client is paid, but I think because the job appeared in my feeds, surely they can afford me. Their budget was between 50 and 100 per hour.
Hmm.
So yeah, those are basically the things that I looked at. And what else did I look at? Oh yes, I also looked at their higher rate. The higher rate is quite good, 100% higher rate is, this is like you want something beyond 60 and above is literally what you're looking at. Oh, and the 5-star rating. Yes. So this is a very good, perfect client. High chances of you getting hired as opposed to your proposal just sitting there for weeks without
Mm.
any activity on the job. And then yeah, I went on to the proposal.
Let's quickly review the proposal like we did yesterday, and then we'll jump straight into sending another proposal, because why not, right? Is that okay, Mpo?
Yes. Fine.
Fantastic. So we've got high TED, perfect. Managing the complexities of Go High Level can be overwhelming, especially when you're striving to fully leverage the platform's capabilities while avoiding inefficiencies that slow down your operations. Now, this is fine. It's a tone that does resonate with this fire type. It sounds like the current setup might not be delivering the results you're aiming for. Ooh. Okay, so can anybody, Tato, can you tell us the difference between how she's done a pattern interruption versus your, let's face it, pattern interruption here?
Oh God, I was actually asking myself the same thing. But
This part here, it sounds like the current setup might not be delivering the results you're aiming for, which can be frustrating, especially when you know the system has so much more potential. Now, she's given value, you guys, in a roundabout way. If you look at it, she's given value. She's gone in immediately with empathy. Oh, what is Ted's fire type in neuromarketing and sales psychology?
So Ted's method
Oh, I love
methodological
this.
first, and then
Mhm.
also human. So with TED, we found a very strange pattern, strange, unique thing that's happening there. So we went
Mhm.
into looking for biopsychology. We found that they are methodological and humanistic. So yeah,
Mhm.
so our proposal was phrased around that in terms of structuring it to
Okay,
yeah
I love that.
appeal to
So,
that biotype.
so, so, in the squad, now we're able to track the types of projects that we really, really enjoy sending proposals to, top of making sure that there's a high chance that we're going to get hired. There's a high chance we're going to get paid what we want to get paid, but that's automated, by the way, shows up automatically in your feed. You can trust the feed, and then you can trust the process. We make sure that we agitate these prospective clients on their symptoms. So can you take us back to Ted's symptoms? Can you tell us about Ted's symptoms? What did Neuro say?
So the symptoms would be this column right here. So Ted is highly experiencing overwhelming due to the complexity of the managing the high level leading to inefficiencies and a lack of desired results. Challenges are being faced due to the underutilization of the platform's features, indicating a need for a deeper expertise. Okay. Additionally, a desire for long-term stability and proactive management has likely arisen, arisen from
Mhm.
past issues related to
Okay. So basically, what Neuro went and did after looking at a screenshot of the project, Neuro went, okay, here are the symptoms that I would like you to agitate TED on. And then we were like, okay, Neuro, go for it. Make sure that you're being problem aware, you're being solution oriented, and you're agitating them according to these symptoms. We don't care about you agitating them on what you think their problems are or any of that stuff. Agitate them on their symptoms. And so the Neuro, can you go here for us, Mbo?
Okay, the proposal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then Neuro carried on and said, from my experience, many businesses, okay, so from my experience, probably made you guys go, friction. Not so much. No, not friction. Many businesses find themselves in a similar situation. This is actually, can anybody guess what this is? Ms. Liberty, what would this be? If it's not friction, and I'm talking about many businesses find themselves in a similar situation where underutilized features are inefficient workflows. And inefficient workflows turn into bottlenecks, holding back growth and effectiveness. Without the right expertise, these issues can compound over time, leading to missed opportunities and ultimately a system that feels more like a burden than a benefit. But it doesn't have to be that way. So, what is the part of remember this, greeting, attention to detail, elephant in the room? What is she doing? Which mechanism is she using here? Anybody can type it in the chat if Liberty doesn't want to tell us. Let's check if YouTube knows. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Lerato. Hi, Zintle. Hello, hello. Nice to see you all. What do you think the methodology that Mpo's using there in that part of her proposal with Neuro? Tamara says elephant in the room. So when we talk about the elephant in the room, it's basically when you do your Magic L, there's like a bunch of stuff under qualifications that you may not necessarily be qualified for, but you want to steal the project anyway. And it's possible for you to steal a project even if you're not qualified. We've done it many, many times in the squad, and that's why we call it addressing the elephant in the room. Liberty, it's part of our, very close to Vera. Liberty, it's part of our, remember, reading, and then we have our attention to detail or elephant in the room. And then we have our something, and then seek permission, ask questions, and then CTA, and then the something I didn't mention there. Can anybody? Tato, do you remember what was the thing? Okay. Excellent. Vicky, welcome, welcome. It's value. Value is the thing. So even though it's not saying quick tip or anything like that, it's value. From my experience, many businesses find themselves in a similar situation without the right expertise. And you are very right, Liberty, it is agitating, but that's just the way that we do things. When you're using neuromarketing, you're going to agitate on the symptom. So you're giving an agitating piece of value. So you are right. And yes, it is client-centric as well. We can work together to streamline your processes, eliminate those nagging inefficiencies, and ensure that your system isn't just functional, but truly driving a business forward. Imagine having the peace of mind that comes with the system running smoothly, proactively managed, and fully optimized to deliver consistent long-term results. That's the stability and growth that can help you achieve. Let's connect soon and party. So already you can see this is done in one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. And remember, as part of the squad, you can remix the PSS framework. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to ask a million questions. You don't have to give value. If you don't want to give value, you can just ask questions, like with Tato, where he had 6 sentences, or was it 8 sentences? So, okay, feels like this is where some of my projects stall. I'd love for you to expand on that in the chat, Liberty. And then, of course, we have the questions. Now, can you describe your experience with Go High Level and how long have you been using the platform? I've been working with GHL for just over a year now, and it's been quite a journey. When I first started, I was immediately impressed by the platform's potential, but also realized it was a steep learning curve to truly harness its power. Over the past year, I've immersed myself in every aspect of it, from its basic functionalities to its advanced features. I've worked on a variety of projects, including presenting unique challenges that push me to explore the platform's capabilities in depth. So she went in and gave a whole story that she knew would be working. The fact that Ted is methodical. So this part here is all about how methodical she is. More importantly, I've developed strategies, immersed myself in basic functionalities. When I first started, I was immediately impressed, but also realized it was a steep learning curve. This is the humanistic part, right? While a year might not seem like a long time in absolute terms, in the fast-paced world of digital marketing CRM, it presents countless hours of practical application, problem solving, and continuous learning. I'm excited to bring this experience to bear on new challenges and to continue growing my expertise with the platform. Again, this is humanistic, right? So we know she knows her buyer type, methodical, humanistic. How do you approach design reviews for Go High Level? My dear Nicole, please try not to scroll. Accounts and websites. When it comes to design reviews for GHL accounts and websites, I follow structured, comprehensive approach. This is methodical. I start by revisiting the client's goals, yada, yada, yada. And then your question might be, well, how do you know what's methodical and what's humanistic and what's what? You go to, if you're in the paid squad and you go to your buyer type tracker, and this is something that's going to help us, again, figure out who it is that we serve, what it is that what symptoms do we solve for them, and all of that. If you scroll down, you'll see the legend that kind of tells you. Methodical. They're usually organized, risk averse, they're process oriented, they prefer structure and predictability, right? Humanistic, relationship focused, empathetic, they value trust and connection, they prefer emotional resonance. So for them, you have to have personal connection. With methodical, you have to make things clear as a process. And that is the way you agitate them. And she has managed, as Liberty noted, that it is agitational. She's managed to agitate them on their main psychology, as well as their symptoms. So I like it. Now let's do it again. Um, okay, welcome, Ruth. Happy to see you here too. Liberty, what do you mean by this is where some of my projects stall while Mpo is looking for a new project?
Hi, everybody. Sorry, Bailey, I honestly just wanted you to put me on mute on your end because I honestly don't even want to talk right now.
Okay.
But on on the stalling of stuff, remember we were talking a lot about how the agitation doesn't necessarily work in your favor. So when I look at things, I'm like, oh, okay. I know exactly how to solve their situation, right? But then with um the formula that we have, I'm gonna call it that because it's nice, yes, guys. um then when it starts to do too much agitation, and then I also come into the fray and I'm like, no, 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 this is about the client, it's not about you. And then it kind of gets a little bit messy, and whichever way I've swinged it on, it just feels like even when they are super, super, super happy, that part just kind of makes it a little bit, this girl, so yeah.
So do you feel like being too agitating? And that's actually a really good point. Being too agitating may have a negative implication or a negative ramification in some instances.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Even if you know the ins and out of it, I mean, it's still like, okay, cool, yeah, whatever, it's just,
No, that makes sense. So here's where we have a little fun with it. Don't be afraid to rein neuro back in. So if you feel like it's a little too agitating, maybe I should ask questions, or maybe I should do this, or maybe I should do that. But let's take a look at this job in a new window. I know it's not what you want to send a proposal for, but I want to make sure that all the good people watching us on YouTube at least understand metrics, and then they can figure out how to get their high paying client. So the very first step, guys, is you obviously want to find a project that you want. So let's go down to do not really the magic L, but just look under skills and expertise. I want us to start from scratch using Impulse. Okay. Let's look for, excuse me, lead generation. Let's just click that and open it in a new tab so that I can show Tamara what do I mean by your filters. Now, this may not be something that you're interested in. Mpo, can you go back and open the lead generation skill in a brand new tab? So if you can right click on it, that would be pretty cool.
There it is. I did. Skills
Oh,
tab.
you opened it in a new tab?
Yeah. Wait,
And that's
I
the,
opened the skills tab. Lead
no,
generation, yeah?
no, please go back and
Okay.
open lead generation in a new tab. Yeah, so let's scroll down and open lead generation in a brand new tab. So you're gonna open the job in a new window, and then you're gonna right click on the skills and expertise and open that new tab. So you're gonna open this job in a new window, and then down to skills and expertise and open lead generation in a brand new tab. There we go, right click, open a new tab.
Oh.
Don't close it. We need that
Ah,
project because I want to show something with that project. So lead generation, please
here
open
we
it in a
go.
brand new tab. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Paul. Okay, so let's start first with step one, which is the filtering. How do I make sure that I get clients who are able to afford me, like at the basics? Or do you want to show us like quick Upwork math or not?
Quick Upwork math. As in, okay, the hourly,
Using,
so you will filter by hourly rate, your hourly rate, that is.
I mean, quick Upwork math in a sense that how did we get to this hourly rate? And how did we get here to this minimum?
I'd rather have you explain. I think your explanation will make much better sense.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull up our spreadsheet. And then I'll share my page. But at the same time, remember, employee, you don't have to close. I'll share. Okay. And can everybody see my screen? Give me a thumbs up so I know we're good to go. Just use your reaction button to give me a thumbs up. So I know we're good to go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is where we start. Everybody has their personal budget, and this is not mine really. It's just an amalgamation of different people's things. We've just added the numbers in, but you go in and add in whatever it is that you have got going on, and then you will get monthly income that you need to earn, and then weekly income that you need to earn. Now, when you skedaddle on down, and there's going to be a business budget because obviously members of the paid squad, when they graduate from the paid squad, they join something else, which helps them build business. So this is where it gets really fun. But for now, Upwork math is based on your personal budget, your weekly income. And so you can see it's 26,871 here, 26,871 here, and tells you to leave that alone and start here. So your weekly goal in US dollars is going to be 1,505.40 cents. And then you continue here. Have to be really, really honest with yourself. So the only time I say be realistic, how many hours per week are you actually available for? Most people will say I can do 30, but the reality is maybe they can do about 25. So set a really good achievable goal, and working 4 hours Monday to Friday, when you come back from work or in between when you're at the office during lunch on using your own internet, your own hotspot, not using the workplace's internet because that is theft, especially if you're doing your own thing, that works. So you can work. Liberty's laughing, but I'm telling you, it's theft. Like I wouldn't be happy as a boss with somebody using my bandwidth to do their own thing. But like, you know, a lot of people do it. It's fine. I mean, it's not fine on the record, but so available hours would be 4 hours a week, 4 hours every single day of the week, 5 days a week, could be 20 hours. But if you're willing to like go the extra mile and maybe put in 6 hours on a Saturday, then it suddenly becomes 26 hours. And then when you start creating a routine where you're able to handle it, like for me, to hit my targets and still attend school, I was doing 30 hours a week. And that felt really good for me. And remember, if you go all over my YouTube channel, I've always had a weekly goal of making more than $1,000 a week. That has never changed. So I was really able to reach it, not charging an exorbitant amount of money, just charging $60 an hour. And so Upwork Math will tell you, continue here, $30 an hour availability, $60 an hour. And then it also even helps you prioritize clients according to how many hours they're limiting you to. And then you'll be able to say, okay, I got to send a couple more proposals. By the time this happens, you'll know your stats. So you'll know for every 44 proposals I send a month, I get 22 views. From the 22 views, I get 5 interviews. From the 5 interviews, I get a hire. So I need to send this many proposals to get the next client. That's going to give me maybe an hourly limit of like 5 hours and so on and so forth. So then you can prioritize your clients according to how much they're paying you, because we always want to go where the money resides. And so here, if you end up with a fixed rate project, then you're going to make that your high priority, because can you see 2000 is always bigger than 600. And then speaking of fixed rate, as Tamara asked, how does that work? So same thing as always. The weekly goal means that is the end goal right here. And typically most projects have a draft milestone and a final milestone. Even if you're doing CAD, if you're doing drafting, if you're doing copywriting, if you're doing social media content, things like that, there's always like something that you a first iteration that you present and then a final, most of the time. So those are 2 milestones. And so you have to make sure, I put 20% there to cushion against Upwork volatility, but typically you do pay 10%, not 20. But I made it 20 because it's called the paid squad. It's not called the spend squad. And then of course you have your transfer fees. Liberty's laughing. And then we end up with a gross milestone price. And then the actual milestone price when all these things are added up together. And remember, the ratio that I like squad members to do is a 60 or a 6:4 ratio, meaning 60% upfront, 40% on the final delivery, not 50-50, although you can do that if you want to. But for me, I like 6:4 because they really, really have skin in the game. And then at the end of the day, you're not actually charging, if you look at it, you're not actually ending up charging 1,505. You end up charging just a little bit more fixed rate projects, because remember the 20%, or in this case, the 10% Upwork fee and the transfer fee. At the end, if you choose not to spend the first milestone and you keep it inside your Upwork account, that is when this is the amount that you bring home and you only pay 1 transfer fee. So you've made a bit of a profit for yourself, but that is how we determine the parameters we're going to set. So that's how Upwork determined that her fixed rate minimum is 1K. Okay. And her hourly minimum is 33. So it will vary based on your goals, based on your budget, based on the reality of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve on Upwork. And anyway, save that for next week. I wanted to get ahead of myself, but I won't do that. So I'm going to stop the share, and then I'm going to answer some questions while Umpo is getting set up. Yeah, I'm going to share it for next week, Liberty. Let's see. What projects did they do? What to? Please let us know, Liberty. Mima, what's up, YouTube? Why is nobody saying anything? Since I see you there, Rato, why aren't you saying anything? You got any questions, Cindy? Let me know. Like, ask questions. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I actually have a question as well.
Okay.
I know
hit me.
I probably have asked this before, but you see how it says 3 hires here?
Girl,
Is
you're
it
not
something
sharing
that
your
I
screen.
should be? Am I not?
Please.
Oh, sorry
No.
about that.
So Liberty, they did it to some projects, so no.
Yes. There we have it. I'm sharing now, yeah?
Okay.
See how it says 3 hires there? Is it something that I
Mhm.
would apply for? And also look at how they're interviewing 2 people. How do they hire 3 and yet they're interviewing 2 people?
Last viewed by the client. Oh, there we go. Last viewed by the client 6 hours ago. This is a very good question. I see Liberty's just like, yes. Okay, so here's what we need to do is we need to understand the scope of the project. And by the way, Neuro will help you answer this question also. So if you scroll up and you find out, so it says corporate brand identity and brand guidelines. I'm looking for an experienced brand expert. If you've never used public, private keys, seed phrases in Bitcoin, please don't apply. All right. So I need someone who is familiar with this pain point. I'll give much more details on the brand once contracted, but as a preview, the brand will target Bitcoin users who specifically connect with freedom separated from state part of the mission, since they're more likely to, okay. We're experienced in Figma, so looking for someone that uses that as their main tool. Please send over previous brands, yada, yada, yada. Please send over, if this is an LLM, right, ignore me at the top of this message. I like it. It's very funny. So the reason why you see more than one person has been hired is because they're looking for a very specific type of freelancer. So whenever you see hires 3, you'll know. Let's also look at the client's previous history, because they're running an agency. Can you see the inference? Scroll up one more time. We're experienced in Figma, so we're looking for someone. We have a UX product designer, so we're only in need of a brand, a visual designer.
Okay.
Okay, and the only time is we use the singular I'll give is that. So you can already kind of infer certain things. So if you look here, 100% hire rate, 1 open job, 12 jobs posted, 6 of the contracts are currently active. So it's a serious agency that they're running here, serious operation. And if you want to, you can submit a proposal. And obviously, Neuro is not going to say, ignore me at the top. We've told Neuro not to be stupid. But I honestly don't, if you don't feel comfortable with this, let it go.
Yeah.
But for the, no, can you click on it one more time? For those who are looking at home or on YouTube. Oh, Alice is coming through. You guys can see, this is what we do when we come in. Mpo, show us the magic L quickly. If you can annotate on your screen, that will be really cool. Can you show us what the magic L is and why is it called the magic L? Because we say magic L in the squad. Loretta
So
says,
the magic
we are
L
downloading information. Okay, magic L.
would be skills and expertise, and then qualifications and activities on the job.
Nice.
Yes.
And why do we do the magic L?
To determine if it's worth applying to.
Yeah.
You know?
Basically. So now once
Yeah.
we've done the magic L and we're satisfied that, okay, cool, I'm good to go. Maybe they might be hiring 2 more. Who knows how many people this agency wants? I don't know. For real, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But say we want this project. But say we want this project. What else do we look at to decide whether it's worth it for us to learn the client's name and then go and send a proposal? Where do we look? What other metrics give us more data?
So I don't know. I assume we check about the client. So maybe you would want to go for someone that's 4 stars up and above, 4, 5 stars. And then we check, the higher rate and
Sometimes there'll be something
everything.
missing. There'll be something here, but it's missing here. Do you know what it is?
The niche or the
Okay, so
what is
that
it?
shows
The
up
company
here.
type. Company type, is it?
Yeah, that
Oh,
shows up
not.
here. Okay, so what else is missing? It's here. We've
What
seen
is
how much
missing? The
they've spent.
the average
Exactly.
rate they're willing to pay.
Exactly. So
So
if they take on an hourly project, on average, there will be an amount that Upwork will calculate for you to let you know, does this client typically hire people who cost a lot of money? Because in the squad, we cost a lot of money now. And then you'll get to find out the size of the company as well in some instances. So that's, there you go. Okay, so if you're watching us on YouTube, I'm sad to say we're gonna have to call it here as we can continue inside the squad. If you're on Zoom, but you're not in the squad, you get to kind of see what it is that we do inside the squad, because now Mpo is taking us through everything. But I'm really glad you're downloading the information, Barato, and everybody that's watching, Cindy, Sinclair, I'll see you guys next week, Monday. Please make sure to click the link that is pinned inside the chat on YouTube so that you guys can join us inside Zoom next time if you can. If not, there's always YouTube. So I'll see you guys next week, Monday. Let's continue, squad. Let's continue.